device back. What the fuck? Oh, hold on. I know why. Hold on. Auto rotate on. There we go. Bro, it still say orientation is locked. Rotate device back. I'm not doing that shit. Why is it orientation locked? Light anchor, highlight, retouch, green screen, stickers. Damn, they putting a lot on YouTube Live now, bro. Is it gonna bother my shit sitting like this? Hold on, let me see something. Okay, I'm looking at my live on the fucking computer. So yeah, it's gonna I had to leave it like this. And then of course this shit in the fucking way. Fucking big ass. Take this shit out, nigga. This shit gonna make me mad, goddamn it. Alright. Peace to the guys and goddesses, kings and queens, empress and empress, chiefs and priests of the motherfucking land. I hope you have a great cosmic night or a great cosmic rising. Look at my chair. Depending on when you catch to see this video. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the new subscribers that don't subscribe to the channel. I love you, man. I value you. I appreciate you, bro, for taking the time to watch my videos, share my videos, screen record some of this shit. Some of y'all be playing my shit at work and shit. So I support you for that. I value you for that. Now, you know, I love you for that, but more importantly, I value you for that. And the reason why I value you for that, because without you, there's no me. So, you know, I just wanted to do this live today because I just been seeing a lot going on, bro. Y'all know, it's been a little minute since I just did lives and just speak on shit going on. But, you know, I wanted to talk about a lot of stuff going on, right? So, right now in the world, or in the United States, I think slavery is definitely on the verge of coming back. I heard something where Louisiana just passed a law where if you're homeless, you will immediately go to jail for 2 years. And when they take you to jail for those 2 years, they're gonna have you pick cotton. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in Louisiana? Then you got this shit in Tennessee with the Chud the Builder incident. And also you got the other incident in Tennessee where a bunch of black Democrats in the for the state of Tennessee just got removed. All black Democrats just got removed. So you clearly see a redistricting, however you say that. But you clearly see there's a lot of segregational shit going on. Jim Crow is reapproaching again, bro. This is why a lot of people are being more openly racist. You know, a lot of more racist things is taking place. Niggas is still getting hanged, bro. You know, children is being abused, and being sexually harassed by these white pedophiles and shit that be in schools, and doctors and tutors and shit. Cause you know they work years to get certified in those jobs just to get close to little children. Don't get me started on the fucking doctors. A lot of these white doctors are pedophiles, bro. A lot of these white doctors that strictly go for kid, you know, being a doctor for kids and shit, them really, not all of them. Some of them really do that shit for the love of the game, but some of them do that shit just so they can get close to kids because they're pedophiles, bro. So it's sad to see what kind of world we're living in today, where people will literally work, they'll study years to get a certain job where they can get close to children in the most closest way possible. And like I said, you know, we're seeing a return of all this energy. Y'all got to remember, we're going back to the beginning. You know, how it started, like they always say, the alpha and omega. How it started in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. You know, that's just how it goes. So we're being pulled back in time. I want to talk about time too. Time is not real. Man-made time is not real. That shit, I looked at different calendars yesterday, bro. That shit threw me the fuck off. I looked at Iran's calendar, Ethiopia, Nepal, Nepal, however you say that country, the country that overthrew their government, they teenagers overthrew the government and chose their own president. That country. And I think China, no, not China, it's another one. But I know Iran is in 1404, Ethiopia is in 2018, and I think Nepal is in 2083 calendar. Nepal calendar, yep. The Bikram Sambat. The Nepali calendar is in 2083. So that's 57 years ahead. And time does not work. You have something called the Diomede Islands. They're literally two fucking islands. One is one is right by the United States and one is right by Russia, and they're literally like this close to each other. But they have a 22-hour time difference. But the sun rises the same time and sets at the same time for those both islands. But somehow both of those islands have a 22-hour difference. This time shit is fucked up. There's too many different time zones. Why is it that California is 3 hours, 2 hours behind me? So it's 12:12 in Texas, but in California, it'll probably be like 10 o'clock right now, 10 a.m. Niggas probably just now getting up. Meanwhile, you got niggas that's an hour to 2 hours ahead on the east side of the coast. You feel me? Like over there in Florida or maybe like in Georgia, or like New York and shit. It's 12:13 here, but it might be 1:13 or 2:13 over there. And I'm like, damn, what is wrong with this shit? You see what I'm saying? That shit don't even make, like, it kind of makes sense, but it don't kind of make sense. But it gives you an idea that the sun travels. The sun travels. And when it, it hits different places at different times. Because, of course, the sun, the radius of the sun's light is so big. You feel me? And if we looking at it from a 3D perspective, the earth is rotating. So there's always going to be one side on the other facing the dark side, and there's always going to be the other side facing the sun side. That's just how it works. But yeah, time is breaking down itself. Time has sped up tremendously to the point where a lot of it's become obvious. A lot of people are like worried, like, damn, why the fuck time is flying by this fast? It's not even a matter of, you remember how they used to say, oh, when you have fun doing the things you want to do, time goes fast. And then when you doing shit that you don't want to do, that's boring and shit, time goes slow. That ain't even the case no more, bro. You can be sitting doing some boring shit and time still gonna fly by. You can be sitting there doing some fun shit, time still gonna fly by. It don't matter no more. Time is flying. Yesterday, bro, I was just at work. I looked up, it's already time to go home. I'm like, damn. You feel me? What the fuck? Just like right now, it's 12:14, nigga. I'ma pop my shit. I'ma look down, look back up. It's damn near gonna be nighttime. You feel me? So, like I said, time has sped up tremendously because time is a man-made construct, and the true time is based off quantum physics, and it's based off the sun's. It's based off the sun. Ooh, excuse me. The sun's light. And the rotation of the sun. Not the rotation of the planet, the rotation of the sun. The sun has sped up time tremendously, so this is why time has sped up beyond what we're normal, what we're used to dealing with. So, like I said, with slavery coming back, it's coming back because we're moving back in time, bro. This is why we got incidents like the Chud the Builder case. They're trying to, y'all forgot. The main niggas that started, I told the white Americans, if you white and you American, if you European and you was in Britain and then your ancestors got moved over here to start America and you were born here in America through bloodline, yeah, white Americans, the Jews don't give a fuck about you, nigga. The white Jews don't care about you. I don't told niggas so many times, y'all are in the same boat as us. They make y'all feel like y'all superior to black people when in reality y'all not. Y'all not even superior to the Jews, nigga. The Jews don't even look at y'all superior. The Jews consider y'all religion, Christianity. The Jews consider Christianity inferior to their religion. The Jews look at all white Americans as Gentiles, aka slaves. Just like how they look at black folks as slaves, they look at you white Americans as slaves, bro. They don't give a fuck about you. That's why they doing what they doing now. They taking all y'all money. They rising the prices because y'all starting to wake up just like these black folks. A lot, you do got a good majority of white folks. They starting to wake up. They still might not like black people, but they don't like them Jews now. A lot of these white Americans starting to call out these Jews, and they starting to call out Israel. They starting to look at them harder than they look at black folks now. And the Jews don't like. They like, how dare you disrespect the motherfuckers that gave you what you got today? So now they taking it back. The Jews are taking their shit back that they gave y'all. They not playing no games. Them boys finna pack some shit up. So niggas forget that the Jews incited the race war. The Jews are the reason white Americans and black Americans are always fighting. We are always fighting because we have the white Americans have been trained to violently harm us in every way possible and physically and psychologically abuse us in any way possible for their monetary gain, for their spiritual gain. Because, they eat our blood, they eat our organs and shit because they seen the Jews doing the same thing. They thought, oh, maybe if we do the same thing they do, eat babies and shit, we'll get the same power as them. No. No. It don't work like that. So anyways, get ready. We might see a civil war, or we might see, like I said, we probably go see the KKK on the streets. We already see Black Panther on the streets. Black Panther back in full effect. So don't be surprised if you see the KKK come back in full effect. Don't be surprised if you see, well, they won't be called the KKK. I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I will tell you this. The KKK won't be called that when they come back. They're going to be called neo-Nazis. That's what they call them. They're going to be called neo-Nazis, or they might be like the Neo-Templar Knights or some shit, because it's literally just going to be the KKK, but under a different name. That's all they're going to do. They're going to have the same symbols and shit, but it's literally just going to be KKK niggas, but under a different name. So like I said, y'all see the Black Panther is already taken to the streets again. Y'all see a lot of these different black communities buying mass amounts of guns, ammo, and not just any guns. They buying some heavy duty. A lot of black people in these black communities is buying some heavy duty shit. A lot of specifically the black men, because black women don't really fuck with guns like that. But the black men is buying some heavy duty shit now. Niggas is stocking up on bullets. Niggas is stocking up on food and all that shit. But just to keep it simple, a lot of niggas is stocking. They getting that heavy duty shit now, and now they're patrolling their hoods. It's not just the Black Panther. There are many other groups out there that's not known like the Black Panther, or they're not popularized right now like the Black Panther, but they're patrolling their black communities blicked up. Niggas is not playing no more. Niggas is ready to kill to make sure we survive. Niggas is ready to kill to make sure our kids is safe. Niggas is ready to kill to make sure our women is protected, so they can continue being the oracles, the divine oracles that they are. They the ones that can tell us shit before it happens so we can be prepared for it. That's why black women is so important. That's why I tell the black brothers, I don't care how much of a hoe some of these black women is, how promiscuous a lot of these black women is, how manipulative a lot of these black women is, how unhealed these black women is. Keep loving on them. Keep valuing them. Keep seeking the value in them, because something will flip in them. A switch will cut on. It's about to cut on. And when it cuts on, these black women, like I said, black men, we might think we some bad, big and bad motherfuckers. But you ain't never seen how a black woman can really get when she own that demon time. Well, I ain't gonna say demon time. Well, we all got a demon side to us. I'm gonna be for real with you. We got a shadow side. But you ain't never seen what it's like when a black woman really get passionate about this shit for real. I'm telling you. You ain't never seen, for example, it's a reason why in families, the kids might go ask the dad something, right? Because they know the dad might say yeah. They know the dad don't really be giving a fuck. But in some families, you got kids, they'll go to the dad and be like, yo, dad, can I get this? Can I have this? You got to go ask your mom first. It's a reason why the dad says that. There's a reason why the dad says that. When the kid come to their dad, they be like, oh, can I get this? Can I get that? They ask him for something. He always tell them, it's fine with me, but you got to go ask your mama, though. You got to go ask your mama and see how she feeling. Because I'm not finna just give you this shit and then she gonna start yelling at me. She gonna start yelling at me and smacking me in the back of the head just like she do y'all, nigga. I ain't finna what? You finna go talk to her first, see what she say. If she cool with it, let's go. There's a reason for that. Because a black woman's wrath is to not be fucked with. Y'all forgot how black women can really get for real. That's why I said, black men, we think we big and bad and this, that, and the third. Y'all forget, we come from the black woman. We get those traits from her. These powerful, masculine ass, I ain't even gonna say masculine, but these powerful, passionate, and divine traits that we have, nigga, they come strictly from her. It's more amplified in us since she created us for a specific reason. We birthed from her body for a specific reason. Even Adam has a navel on his belly. Eve wasn't taken from his rib. No, Eve conceived Adam. God made Eve first. And then he had Eve conceive Adam through something called parthenogenesis. Because guess what? Men are what? The builders. Women are what? The blueprint. They make the blueprint and we build whatever blueprint they draw up. So God is the builder. The God that we see or hear about, they be like, oh, he this, he that. Yeah, that's the Father. But you don't know that Father has a mother. They hide that from you in religion. They don't talk about God's mother. They say that God is everything. So that means if God is everything, there's a she too in play of all this. There's a she too in play of all this. And she's drawing up the blueprints and telling him to build it. He got the blueprint of how to build the first human, which was Eve. This is why when you trace everybody's blood, you can only trace it back to one woman called Lucy. And that was a black woman in Ethiopia of Africa. That was Eve. And then Eve then conceived Adam. That's why Adam has a navel on his belly. I mean, we can go look at pictures of it. Them niggas got navels on their belly, which means they had an umbilical cord at some point. So they not gonna talk about that shit. So that's why I say, to the black men, we gotta remember, our women are very powerful. They just in slumber right now through all this spell work, through all the shit put in their food, and women get it worse than men. We don't wear wigs. We don't wear bras. We don't wear pads and wear tampons that also have extra chemicals in it. Them tampons have chemicals in it. Them maxi pads and shit got chemicals in it. Them weaves and shit that these black women be wearing have chemicals in it. Those perms they put in their head have serious carcinogens in it. You got to think about it, black man. The reason why we're ascending faster than the women, because we're not putting all that shit on our head, bro. We not putting the weaves in our head. We not putting the bleach in our head, nigga. The perms in our head. We not putting the dye in a different color, nigga. We just be, nigga. We might put some water in our shit and call it at that. Nigga might put some. I don't even. It's the reason why I grow my hair out. I was gonna get waves, but I'm like, I'm not finna do that neither. I'm not finna be putting all that grease in my head once or twice a week, every fucking week. You feel me? With all them chemicals in it. Don't get me wrong, you get some fire waves, but bro, I'd rather just have my natural hair, bro. It's the reason why your hair holds memory. Each strand of your hair holds memory. You feel me? I used to be oblivious to that shit because my ex, she was like, why don't you just cut your hair off? And I was like, I don't really want to cut my hair off, bro. And I was oblivious to that shit because she was telling me like that shit hold energy. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But then I just like, you know what? One day I just woke up. I'm like, let me see. Trim my shits down a little bit. Grew my shit back like this. Now, nigga, I got that Gohan going on, nigga. I got that Goku going on, nigga. Fuck do you mean? Look how long my hair is, bro. I got longer hair than you bitches out here. Y'all hair don't go down this far. Y'all real hair don't. Some of you real women that wear wigs and shit all the time, your hair can't do this. Your hair can't do this. Baby, I can get 2-strand twists right now and they'll all be hanging like that and I can just, But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let my shit grow just like this and it's still going to do the same thing. And plus, why cut something that's meant to grow? So because once shit hit the fan, we not gonna have all this shit no more. Niggas not gonna have all them shaving blades and shit. I mean, we might come up with some shit to do that because we're gonna be turned into, we are babies. We're forgetting we're spiritual babies. So we finna be put back in a position to learn everything how we supposed to for real again. Survival, how to build shit. Not everybody gonna be skilled in their own fields, don't get me wrong, but not everybody knows what to do when shit hits the fan. I mean, maybe men, but like most women don't. The average woman doesn't know how to start a fire, bro. What the fuck just happened to my computer? Anyways, okay, there we go. Yeah, the average woman doesn't know how to start a fire, bro, or get this or get that, or you feel me? That's where the men come in play at. That's why they going so hard to divide the man and the woman, because when shit hits the fan, those women are going to be very, especially you women with kids, y'all are going to be extremely vulnerable, bro. So like, that's why, you got people like me and many others out here that keep preaching like, yo, I understand we don't fucking like each other right now, but we need each other right now because it's getting bad. This is why it's so hard for niggas right now in the economy. Do you know how easy it was for your grandparents or your mother and father to survive, nigga, because they was working together and putting money together, nigga? Niggas can't do that today because their pride is bigger than their ego now. So a lot of niggas feel like they can't, I don't need a man for this, I don't need a man for that, or I don't want a woman for this, I don't want a woman for that. Not knowing that's gonna help us really boost how we need to be in this economy. This shit gonna allow us to get through a lot of this shit. Niggas, all the gas high, the groceries high, this high, that high. Well, maybe if you had a partner, y'all would be dominating this shit. I grew up being raised that two heads is better than one, bro. It is. So it's like, but at the same time, I get it though. Some people we just can't be around. Y'all would be surprised on how many people I don't been around trying to do that method. Two heads is better than one, but motherfuckers' pride is bigger than their egos. So it's too much electromagnetic energy in the same aura field. So one gotta leave. So like, that's just how it is. But getting back to the main point, when shit hits the fan, we gonna need each other, bro. For many different reasons. Like, women real skilled with, I can't say a lot of these women is nurses. Niggas don't know how to, you feel me? Niggas don't know how to nurse some shit. Niggas know how to build, destroy some shit, create some shit, and all that. You feel me? Provide, go catch some shit, slay some shit, yeah. But we don't know how to nurse no shit. Nigga get a wound or something. Man, the women sit still. Give me some alcohol. Yeah, let me get this. She gonna whip that shit up, nigga. In the pot, whipping up some tea or some shit to heal. Make sure your healing factors, get amplified during that process. Men don't know how to do that. So when niggas getting hurt out here, when shit hit the fan, we get hurt. We gonna be looking for a woman like, man, I need something to heal me. I need something to heal me. You feel me? And you gonna be just as vulnerable as the woman. When you an injured man or a damaged man out here physically, bro, you're just as vulnerable, bro. And niggas, some people gonna take advantage of that. Y'all gotta remember what kind of world we live in. Just like I hear people, people was talking about the superpower shit. Oh, people finna get superpowers and this, that, and the third. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say I don't believe in that shit because that's where all they movies come from. But y'all not finna get it like how y'all think it is. Like the sun just gonna send down a flare and then everybody shit just gonna activate at once. No, it's gonna activate in stages because a lot of people hearts is not lighter than the feathers. It's not lighter than the feathers. So a lot of niggas is gonna get weeded out per se. Let me put it like that. Niggas is gonna get weeded out from getting type. Because imagine if niggas could do Dragon Ball Z shit right now. That will not be good. It wouldn't. It'd be too many niggas in the hood trying to hit each other with Kamehamehas. You got tyrannical ass niggas that'll be trying to use that shit to overcome niggas and take over the world. Nobody deserves. I don't trust nobody having superpowers right now. So I don't really get into all that shit. You feel me? But there are certain things that is being displayed that we would consider superpowers, like telekinesis, telepathy. People talking about that shit now. Like, for example, telepathy is real. I'm finna prove it to you how without having to pull nothing up. Look at radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves. Those are invisible things we can't see, but they move around in, like Wi-Fi, for example. Wi-Fi got invisible radio waves where they use other devices that also uses the same radio waves to connect with each other through invisible means. So that's why when you can feel somebody mood when you step in a building and you step in a specific room, you can feel somebody move like, damn, that nigga, I can just feel that nigga angry as hell. Look at his face, the body language, something just off. You feel me? Because that's a form of telepathy, but it's on a minute level though. We see niggas used to have Charles Xavier type telepathy, where nigga, y'all know Charles Xavier from X-Men? Niggas used to have that back in ancient times, but now niggas don't got that. A lot of abilities were stripped from niggas for this specific reason, because a lot of niggas down here is fucked up. So, hold on, let me, damn. Is my speaker on? Okay, hold on. Power on. So now I wanna, Bluetooth connected. What did my Bluetooth just connect to? Hold on. I want to connect it to my computer. My bad. But yeah, the women and the men, we gonna really need each other when shit hit the fan. And like I said, the reason why I'm speaking on all this, because I'm seeing everything just happening. We see the signs. Like, niggas is trying to bring back slavery with the shit going on in Louisiana. And trust me, other states is gonna follow. Mississippi gonna follow. Memphis is gonna follow. I mean, Tennessee. I keep saying Memphis because, you know, I'm from Memphis. I don't look at the rest of Tennessee. I just look at Memphis. Nigga, fuck you mean? Memphis, Egypt? Memphis, America? Nigga, they got a place out there in Memphis right now called Raleigh, Egypt, nigga. I'm just saying. But yeah, every other state gonna follow. Georgia gonna follow. Florida gonna follow. Texas gonna follow. Let a nigga try to, what? You not putting me in no shackles, slime. We not going, hell nah. Hold on, let me disconnect my Bluetooth. Bluetooth pairing. There we go. Hold on. Bluetooth connected. I turn my shit up. So, what's that nigga name? Eddie Griffin. Yup. Man, he just did a recent podcast, I think. Oops. Oh, there we go. I think they scrubbing this shit from YouTube. Okay, here we go.
Louisiana, I need to talk to you for a second. Your House just passed a bill called HB 211, the so-called Streets to Success, that makes it a crime to be homeless in public. That's right. If you're unhoused and you fall asleep in a park, under a bridge, or on the sidewalk, that's not a designated campground.
Damn, nigga, $1,000 or 2 years in prison? Man, y'all better go sleep in them woods, nigga.
You can be arrested just for trying to survive the night. First offense, up to a $500 fine, at least 6 months in jail. Second time, now we're talking a felony, up to a $1,000 fine and a 1 to 2 years in prison.
And 2 years in prison with hard labor, nigga? And that labor Oh, my bad. My bad. Good looks. Good looks. Santino Dar. Anyways, good looks on that. I can't pronounce your name, but yeah, good looks. I didn't know my shit was mute. But what I was saying was my bad. Niggas want to end world homelessness. This is not the way to end homelessness by taking people to jail for 2 years to do hard labor, and that hard labor is picking cotton, and or charging them $1,000 that they don't have. That's fucked up. That's not how you end homelessness. So and I was speaking on how there's a homeless veteran right now, where I'm at, and he was in the Vietnam War, and I'm just like, bro, niggas went into the military for what? What did niggas go into the military for? Because once you get out, the country still treats you like shit. If you black and you go to the military, boy, niggas still gonna look at you as a hard R. When you get out, they like, I don't give a fuck if you fought for this country. Nick, I ain't gonna say it because we live on YouTube right now. I usually say it in a YouTube video. But yeah, nigga, they don't play no games. Them niggas still look at you as the same. Or, even you got, like I said, you got white folks that went into the military, went into the Vietnam War and shit like that, Afghanistan and shit like that, and they still get treated like shit out here, bro. So, it just goes to show what kind of world this is really, the world is really starting to show its true colors. The World Health Organization, United Nations, the World Economic Forum, they're really starting to show their true colors on what Agenda 2030 is really going to be. They want all these smart cities. They want all this AI. They want to replace you. They want to fill you up with vaccines so they can suppress your DNA. There's a reason for that. They want you to have that mark of the beast, aka Neuralink. Because it's when shit starts getting more smart, you won't be able to buy. That's why that's why the American dollar is collapsing right now. And then Trump is the reason. Trump is making the dollar. He's making the American dollar collapse way faster than it should be right now, and that's on purpose, so they can roll in this brick shit. BRICS. It's a new type of some type of monetary system, but it's mainly going to be digital. So a lot of people won't be able to, like it say in the Bible, you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade unless you had a mark of the beast. And the mark of the beast is AI, it's technology. You have to fuse yourself with that shit. Once you fuse yourself with technology, all humanity has been removed from you. You're not even human no more. You're biomechanical. You will be considered a biomechanical being. Once you put some type of AI chip in you, you feel me? Or you get a robotic arm or some shit, you're no longer human, bro. You're considered biomechanical. And they control all that. So that's why they're going, Trump, he doing all this dumb shit. He's starting all these wars. He's spending all this fucking money. He's literally putting us more in debt. He's increasing the debt fast as hell compared to any other president before him. And that's to speed up the collapse of the dollar so they can move this shit to a digital currency. That's why Bitcoin's so popping. That shit been popping for the past decade, and it's only going to keep going more up because that's going to be the new universal currency. It's going to be Bitcoin, and niggas going to be able to get Bitcoin in so many ways. It's going to be like the Ready Player One, literally like the movie Ready Player One. On God, niggas going to be able to get Bitcoin in so many ways. You feel me? In order just to survive in this reality, but that's if you choose to be a part of this beastly system. Some people are not going to choose to be a part of this shit and just going to separate from this shit and go their own way and follow the voice of God, which is your mind and your heart, nigga. Your mind and your heart and your gut. Those three things, the Holy Trinity, your mind, your heart, and your gut, nigga. They ain't going to never fail you once you got them bitches in unison together. So they rolling out these data centers. These data centers require a ridiculous, unholy amount of water. I just seen the video. Hold on, I'm finna pull it up as a matter of fact. Data center in Georgia. This niggas right now in Georgia with some them niggas got some sweet tea coming out they shit. Hold on. What's her name? Ocasio-Cortez. Hold on. She was talking about the Georgia what? Yeah, here we go, right here. Hold on, I got y'all. Here we go.
a jar right here. This is the current drinking water in Morgan County, Georgia. Right after a data center was constructed, the metadata center was constructed.
After a metadata center was constructed, nigga, look at that water, nigga. Look at that water, nigga. Them niggas got sweet tea coming out their shit.
Constructed. The only difference between the clean water and this was that data center. I have another one as well.
Ew.
So this wasn't just one well. These wasn't just one family's situation. This is what the drinking water now looks like next to that data center. The administration's been issuing executive orders to fast track data center construction when we know that water quality is encountering major issues.
That's fucked up. That is fucked up. And it's not just Georgia. There's data centers in Texas. It's certain I forgot what town it was in Texas, but there's a town not too far from where I'm at. A data center was built close by, and that shit, they water just turned straight brown, like dookie brown, bro. And there's a lot of, I think there's one in Virginia. They got some, it's a lot of cities where these data centers are popping up. They're not telling y'all about this because they got niggas focused on so much other shit that you don't even realize this data center's popping up out of nowhere. Like them bitches spawning. Like how they get these bitches built that fast? Y'all ain't never thought about this shit? Either they was already building these bitches like 10 decades ago type shit. I said 10 decades, my bad. 10 years ago. Either they was already building this shit 10 years ago, or they just somehow spawned these bitches. They somehow opened the portal up in the middle of the night. Just, you feel me, hitting seances and shit. That bitch just spawned. Like, cause these data centers are coming out of nowhere. Then you got the one in Memphis. Hold on, I'm finna show y'all the one in Memphis right now. Like it's getting so bad out there in Memphis that nigga they literally Elon Musk data center. Yep, here we go right here. Yep.
This is Democracy Now!
Why is my speaker? Okay, make sure my volume loud. Hold on, I got this the one in Memphis right now.
DemocracyNow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. On this Earth Day, we're continuing our look at community resistance to the construction of AI data centers. We go now from the state of Maine, which just passed a statewide moratorium on the construction of new data centers, to the city of Memphis.
Black areas. I want you to repeat this. Elon Musk data centers face lawsuit for polluting black areas because Memphis is predominantly black. It's predominantly where our people at, fool. And that's fucked up.
Last week, the NAACP sued Elon Musk's xAI, accusing the artificial intelligence company of polluting black neighborhoods with toxic emissions from its makeshift power plant fueling its data centers in Memphis.
Look at that.
The lawsuit alleges xAI is violating the Clean Air Act by operating over 24 methane gas-burning turbines without legal permits.
Without legal permits.
xAI data centers running turbines without legal permits. The massive xAI data centers are known as Colossus and Colossus II. We go now to Memphis, where we're joined by Keyshawn Pearson, Executive Director of Memphis Community Against Pollution. Keyshawn, thanks so much for joining us.
You know a nigga from Memphis with that hairline, boy. That boy hairline. Ooh, that boy sliced. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I'm not glazing. Niggas chill. I'm just saying, you know a nigga from Memphis when he got a slice like that.
A year ago.
Shit is slender.
Can you talk about what is Colossus and Colossus II? Talk about the power these data centers require and what kind of regulation there is.
Thank you, Amy, for having me back. It is good to be back. And we are, unfortunately, in an even worse position than we were a year ago. At this point, we now have two facilities, Colossus I and Colossus II, that are being powered by illegal and unlawful methane gas turbines. These turbines generate enough power to power over 500,000 homes.
Damn!
This is unprecedented.
What? Did I hear that right?
Power over.
Hold on, go back.
Methane gas turbines. These turbines generate enough power to power over 500,000 homes.
Damn.
This is unprecedented, the amount of pollution that we're being exposed to, nitrogen dioxide, formaldehyde, chemicals that we know cause cancer. And so in this moment, we have to do something similar to what Maine is doing. And we are demanding a moratorium of some sort come to fruition. But here in Memphis, we are unfortunately a cautionary tale about what will and possibly can happen if you don't have the right rules and guardrails in place.
Last year, Elon Musk explained why he decided to build Colossus in Memphis.
Well, we needed a building. We can't build a building, so we must use an existing building. So we looked for basically for factories that had been abandoned, but the factory was in good shape, like the company had gone bankrupt or something. So we found an Electrolux factory in Memphis. That's why it's in Memphis. Home of Elvis, and also one of the oldest, I think it was the capital of ancient Egypt.
So,
Hey, hold on. We ain't just gonna skip over that. He said the capital. I think it was the capital of ancient Egypt, even though that's, Memphis is like that's in Africa, but still, the Nile River, Mississippi River. Anyways, the Dead Sea, the Gulf of Mexico, or the Gulf Sea, wherever you want to call it. But yeah, he that's where he built that shit at, and it's literally killing. It's killing them out there, bro. It's killing them people out there, bro. That's breathing that shit in, and it's not just like it's literally affecting the whole black areas in Memphis. The main black areas in Memphis is Memphis itself, nigga. From Orange Mound to Fraser to Bartlett. Well, Bartlett, it's a lot of white folks that stay up in there, but to Raleigh, you feel me? Like all them spots out there is black areas, nigga. Even on the east side of Memphis, Germantown, like Cordova, that's mainly black people. And a lot of black people out there got money too that live in nice homes out there, and they're being affected by this shit. So like, let me turn around because we ain't gonna watch that whole thing. But yeah, it just goes to show that these data centers is just. Well, this data center, they was talking about this shit last year. Yeah, they was talking about this data center. It was either last year or 2025. So it was either 2025 or 2024. They was already talking about them, like they was warning niggas like, yeah, if he builds this here, niggas is gonna be getting polluted like a motherfucker, and it's gonna cause a lot of health effects for people in Memphis. But they still built the shit. Just like in many other states. Niggas is like I think in New York they was finna build a data center, but they managed to get that shit. The people managed to work together to get that shit stopped. But it's a lot of cities where they trying to put these data centers up quick. It's these tech companies, these tech CEOs like Elon Musk, the owner of the owner of Nvidia, the owner of Intel, the owner of what's another AMD, like all these computer companies and shit that make PCs and shit, that make GPUs and CPUs and shit. Tesla, Bill Gates and his Microsoft, they buying up all these lands, and then they're building these data centers in the nick of time at that. I don't know how the fuck they doing it. And it's causing problems all over America. And they're not stopping. They don't give a fuck about what you people think. They need these smart cities to roll out quickly. They need these smart cities to roll out quickly by 2030, bro. That's why shit happening so fast. That's why so much shit is going on to the point everybody's like, damn, niggas is kind of getting overstimulated from all the shit that's just being thrown out to aliens. We're gonna get into that in a second. But that's why niggas being overwhelmed by that shit right now, because they're trying to speed this shit up. They're trying to race against the sun, and they're trying to hurry up before 2030 comes. Because they already need the population down to 500 million by 2050. If you know about the Georgia Guidestones, before they blew up the Georgia Guidestones, they needed the population down to 500 million. That's 8 billion people going down to 500 million by 2050. What's up, Incogati? Incogati? I think I said that. Incognitive abilities? I don't know. But yeah, these data centers is gonna further pollute shit. A lot of powers, it's gonna fuck up the power grid as well, because listen to what bro said. He said these these data centers are using, the one in Memphis has enough power to power up 500,000 homes. That's going to cause the grid to collapse. The grid can't keep up with that kind of energy, bro. He said, what's your thought on ancient West/Central African history? My thoughts on that, it's just our history. We need to learn it, bro. I really don't got no thoughts on it. The only thought I got is niggas need to learn their history, remember where they come from. Remember where we come from. We all around the world, they found the pyramid in the Amazon rainforest. Like, they're finding pyramids everywhere because that's us. You feel me? They won't let you. 94% of the Grand Canyon can't be explored. It's off limits by the what they call them, the people that be taking care of like woods and shit, forests and shit. I forgot what they call them people. I would look it up right now, but I don't give a fuck. But yeah, them people, the people that manage your wild forests and shit, they your unexplored locations, they got that off limits. The Smithsonians need that off limits because they know if black people ever find out what's in the Grand Canyon, all hell will break loose for these people. So I just feel like all our history is interconnected though. That's how I feel about our ancient history. You know, like I was just saying earlier, you got the Memphis in Africa that's in Egypt. Like, I can show y'all this shit, right? Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Because I'm glad you said something about some history, my nigga. Let me show you something real quick, right? So let's look at Mississippi River. I don't want map. Yeah, I want the map. I want the map. I want the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. It's time to find the map. Okay, go back. What was the other one I was just looking at? That one looked more... I can't even, like... No, bro. Open image, a new tab. Here we go. And then... Boom. Now, river. Map. Bang. Open a new... Open... No, hold on. Open image, a new tab. Slam. Alright, so... Is there a way I can rotate this image? I don't think I can. If I put it in Photoshop, I probably could rotate the image, but I just want to show you this, right? Like, so this is the Nile River. The Nile River and the Mississippi River are like damn near like reflections of each other, bro. So like it ends up here and then it goes all the way down. Boom. You pass St. Louis. Then you get here to Memphis and then it exits out into the Gulf of Mexico. And then if you look at the Nile River, boom, it starts here. You going up here, you got the white now, the blue now, then it keeps going. Then once again, you get to Cairo, Egypt, and then you got Memphis, Egypt, right up in here. I don't know why it's not on the map. And then it empties out into the Mediterranean Sea or the Mediterranean Gulf or the African Gulf. I would just call it the African Gulf. But Cairo, Egypt. And then, like I said, you know, in Memphis, they have a city or like they have a location in Memphis called Raleigh, Egypt, which is very interesting to me, which makes me think like all our it's like, I believe like a lot of shit started in Africa because of Egypt. He said Benin, Oyo, Nubin. Or start if you want to learn more West or Central African history. I've been watching some old videos from the 60s about old ancient civilizations. I wish they taught us more about old West Central South African civilizations. Then always about Babylon. Yeah, facts. They always want to talk about Greek and shit like that. You feel me? He said even Pacific Islands histories is lit. Hell yeah, boy. Especially Hawaii, nigga. And them what they call them people, them Samoans, nigga. Hey, them Samoans built different, nigga. I don't know why, but all them niggas big. I don't know what's hey. If it's one people I probably won't bother, it's Samoans, nigga. They spawn in this world big as shit. I don't know why. They all just be, nigga. And I'm like, damn. And you know, it's like the Africans out there in Africa. A lot of them niggas be born, nigga, muscled up. I'm like, damn, nigga. So he said you are lying about what you just showed us about that Memphis River. So yeah, like what I believe was like, because a lot of shit started in Egypt. One of the biggest mystery schools or esoteric universities was in Egypt. And it was called the Library of Alexandria, the Great Library of Alexandria. That was one of the biggest universities. And this is where Jesus went to go get his shit from. This is where all the prophets went to go get they went to go learn some real esoteric shit from in order to display the powers that they were displaying amongst regular people. Niggas have traveled all the way out there, and it was a journey to get there. It wasn't easy to get there, but when niggas got there, it was worth it. And then after a while, the Library of Alexandria got burnt down because, you know, wars and shit. The Romans came and burnt that shit down. They was like, oh, y'all niggas think y'all finna keep doing powerful shit around us, nigga? And our God said, you gotta die, nigga? You feel me? So the Greeks, they was going around causing havoc, nigga. But people don't know that it was different versions of Rome. Like one, I think, what was the queen? Hold on. It was a queen that went to war with Rome, and she took that shit down. Went to war with Rome. Here it is right here. She said the famous queens that waged war against Rome, depending on the era and region, you are likely thinking of Boudica, who was a British woman, and then Zenobia, which was an Egyptian woman, and then how you say her name? Amarinius? Hold on, here we go. This woman, Amarinius, I think it was her right here. This one to be specific. The queen who fought back against Caesar's army, and she won. She said under the queen's command, she said the queen or Kandake, the kingdom of Kush, managed to do what, oh my God, bro, come on with these ads. Managed to do what many male leaders in her time could not. Push back a Roman invasion. What? Let me read that one more time. From 25 to 21 BC before Christ, Amarina, an Egyptian queen, or Kandake, of the kingdom of Kush, or, you know, I want to say Kemet queen, a Kemetic queen. We ain't even gonna say Egypt, because Egypt, that's a modern name for Kemet. She managed to do what many male leaders couldn't do in her time, and that was push back a Roman invasion. Under her command, some 30,000 soldiers of the ancient kingdom of Kush, located in modern-day Sudan, took to arms and fought back Roman invaders who had advanced from Egypt, because they went and destroyed Egypt, and they destroyed the Library of Alexandria. That's where all our sauce is gone, though. They took some shit and then they burnt the rest of the shit. And then it says the Romans had encroached on the fertile lands of the region below Egypt known as Nubia, and enforced high taxation on the people of Meroe, the capital of Kush. And she strategically rallied her army during a temporary withdrawal of the Roman troops for a campaign in Arabia. Her forces managed to capture the Roman-occupied cities of Aswan, Philae, and Elephantine. It's like elephant. The Kush forces plundered the cities and enslaved the Romans before retreating to El Dake, where the first skirmishes of the 4-year Muriatic Roman War began. The Muriatic Roman War stands out as a key junction in both the Nubian and Roman history. The Roman army ultimately dominated, but they ended up granting concessions to the Meroe kingdom that weakened Rome's political and economic standing and validated Muriatic sovereignty. Because the Romans they had a currency system just similar to the one we got now, which is the dollar bill, and niggas managed to use that against them and make their own shit collapse. So she managed to stop a goddamn Roman army, bro. That was a black queen, nigga. That was what? Like I said, black men. I be telling, we think we some big bad. When the woman owned demon time, when she owned that time, she not to be fucked with. So, you know, it just goes to show that, like, you know, we was going everywhere around the world with this shit. And that's why over here in America, we got a Mississippi River similar to the Nile River, and we have a city called Egypt. I mean, not Egypt. We have a city called Memphis, similar to in Egypt, there's a Memphis in Africa. So it just goes to show that, like, I believe at a certain time and frame and era of when we were dominating shit, we was just going around to different land masses, just establishing the same shit. You feel me? That's why everywhere you go, you see pyramids everywhere you go. We was just going around the world, just establishing shit. And we wasn't colonizing shit. We were going on what we would call expeditions. Expeditions was where we were actually going to different places. We would find other people and be like, oh, what's up, y'all? Dap it up with them, let them know where we from. We'd be like, yeah, we got this shit, we got this back here. They'd be like, oh shit, we need some of that. We can give y'all some of this. This is how trading systems started, because we started coming across other civilizations that had shit that we could trade with. So it's like, you know, because we was just going everywhere and we wasn't colonizing niggas, but we would go to certain places, you know, find open locations that's not inhabited, and then we would establish pyramids there. And those pyramids were generators that powered civilizations that were there at one point in time, but been destroyed due to war. Because most of Earth's history has been about war. There's never been a day, era, or time where the world hasn't been at war in some way, shape, or form. It's always been war on this planet. But we're getting ready to come into an age where we're about to enter the war that ends all wars, what they call World War III, or the spiritual war. You feel me? The war on consciousness and shit like that. This is the war that ends all wars. Hold on, let me see. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you know, it's a lot going on. He said, why did they destroy it? Very true, Roman. Egyptian Kratos civilization, 1962. Check the first minute of this video. Bet. And you said, why did they? Yeah, they destroyed the Library of Alexandria because we had a lot of information. And like, where do you think they got guns, helicopters, cars? All that shit was already on the hieroglyphs. That was already written, inscribed in stone of the walls in the pyramids of Egypt out there in Giza. Cause niggas already had tech. They got statues of niggas holding tablets and shit. Look at the Sumerian gods. The Sumerian gods had Apple watches. They had Apple watch. Hold on, let me show you the shit. Hold on, Sumerian god watch. That nigga got the Apple watch on his wrist. Nigga, that's some kind of time device. That's either some drip or a time device. And I would more likely believe that's a time device than some regular drip. Because they all got them all. When you go look at the Sumerian tablets or the Sumerian hieroglyphs, all of these niggas, every one of them that you see has this on their wrist. Why? I have no clue, but I believe it's some kind of device. Because look, matches this, whatever this is in their hand. So he says, is it possible if you could check the video? Hey, let me look at it real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. You said check the first minute of it. I got you, bro. And this all this ancient talk gonna lead us into these aliens too, because now they talking about aliens and shit. Oh shit, hold on. Look, as soon as I type in Egyptian, because I meant to type in what you told me, bro. Explaining advanced Egyptian technologies, ancient aliens. Like, man, they know what they. And now they talking about some Egyptian Kratos. Okay. Now they talking about some whatchamacallit? Here we go. I got you, bro. Why is he not playing no sound though? My speaker on.
Bluetooth connected.
I can't. Is it mute? Is it like this on purpose? Damn, look at that. They had palm trees and shit. Niggas
in the fertile river valleys.
Oh, there we go.
Along the valleys
you said check from 110 to 230. Bet. Oh, okay, bet. Hold on. Let me I'm gonna go back just a little bit, like right there too, though.
Banks of the Nile in Egypt.
I wish I could turn my phone sideways, but that hell not gonna flip. It's not gonna flip on y'all end for y'all.
Thousands of years ago, Egypt was a land of swamps and marshes.
Damn, that's crazy.
Inhabited by crocodiles, hippopotami, and other species of game. Today, the people of the Upper Nile still live much in the same way as did those of prehistoric Egypt. Like the Dinka people of today, who live along the Nile, in the Sudan, the early Egyptians hunted and fished.
Yeah.
Traveled the river in canoes made from marsh reeds. fields, they cultivated crops. They herded cattle, living in widely scattered tribal units. The lives of these people were completely dependent upon the waters of the Nile. But each year, swelled by the rains, the waters rose, flooding their fields, destroying their homes, and threateningly highly productive. But conditions were hard. If this fertile region was to be permanent, the destructive power of the Nile had first to be mastered. In time, even as they do today, the early Egyptians learned to dig dikes and canals to protect their homes. Spurred by the need for cooperation in the great task of mastering the Nile, the primitive tribes of Egypt began to unite. This unification was highly significant. For now, with their combined energy organized by a single powerful ruler, many things impossible before could be achieved. With a food supply virtually assured, the united people of Egypt were ready to develop in many directions. The pyramids were the first great landmarks in the story of civilization.
Look how big
Built
them
nearly
bitches is.
5,000 years ago. The first buildings in the world made entirely of stone, the pyramids symbolize the turning point between primitive tribal existence and the organized social life that we call civilization. Writing, it has been said, marked the beginning of civilization. Hieroglyphic, or picture writing, was the earliest form of Egyptian script developed, written on stone or plaster. Soon, from the stem of the papyrus reed, the Egyptians learned to make paper.
Yeah.
With the invention of paper and a new form of writing, the spread of knowledge became easier.
Damn, niggas was getting that sauce
Paper
in
was
quickly,
used
nigga.
for medical and religious texts, for keeping records, for artwork, or for mathematical studies, perhaps in connection with pyramid building. One of the great centers of learning was the city of Thebes, for centuries the capital of ancient Egypt, and noted for its fine architecture. Almost all the massive stone buildings of Egypt were either temples or tombs.
Yeah.
One of the largest was the Temple of Karnak. Religion was the driving force behind the growth of civilization in Egypt, a fact that is strongly reflected in Egyptian art. Statues of god-kings and other religious sculptures adorn the temple courtyards.
What is that?
The
You said an
pillars
opera player.
and the walls of all the buildings are carved with scenes that glorify many different deities, testifying to the reverence in which the Egyptian gods were held. A Greek philosopher once said of the Egyptians, "They are beyond measure religious, more than any other nation." Their greatest preoccupation was with the
They acknowledging that it was other nations around this time too. Because he said these people were beyond, what did he say? He said they were beyond measure religious more than any other nation. So like they religion like was different. Like this shit took them to a different level than some Christianity. This shit took them to a different level than some Islam or whatever you want to call that. You feel me? And it just goes to show like how powerful the Egyptians became, bro. These niggas got powerful, bro. Only for the, war. Through war, shit got destroyed over time. Because, the Romans was still around during this time. The Greeks was still around during this time. Anglo-Saxon, all these different civilizations were around. Aztecians. And niggas was linking up. And then some niggas was going to war with each other because they had smoke with each other. It's no different than today. You know how United States got allies with France and the United Kingdom and shit like that. Africa got their allies with like fucking China, Russia, or some shit. Like it was no different than back then. Some niggas was allies, some niggas was ops. And you know, it just shows that, but like this is where like the alien shit come in at, right? Because niggas be like, okay, if niggas was so powerful, how the fuck did these niggas just manage to start going around taking over the whole world to where now the whole world is under Roman culture, if we're being honest. It's under the European Roman culture. And that was through the help of certain speak about right now. They just named 4 different species from the files, the UFO files, and it's the reptile. I didn't even think they was gonna mention the reptilians, but the reptilians, the Greys, the tall white Nordics, and the what am I thinking of? What was the last one? Insectoids. Some insectoids. I'm like, damn, but y'all not gonna name the Nomos. Y'all not gonna name the because the Nomos was the Zulu tribe came across the Nomos, which was an extraterrestrial species that came from the Sirius star system, and they told the Dogon tribe about in the Zulu tribe about the fucking star. They told them about the different star systems before scientists even knew what a star system was. So then you got the Anunnaki that they speak about, or the Sumerian gods that they speak about. You know, those are ETs as well. There's a lot of different ETs around this bitch that they not just mentioning, you feel me? Because of course they're not gonna, of course they'll mention to you a white Nordic, tall white man, 7-8 foot, 8 to 9, 10 feet. They'll mention to you a 10-foot Swedish white man with blue eyes and blonde hair. They'll mention that to you, but they won't mention them black extraterrestrials, nigga. With long locks, chiseled up, niggas moving in all black carbon suits. They not gonna mention that to you though. They not gonna mention and these the ones that be moving in them pill-shaped crafts that they talk about. Resty on YouTube made a good video as well on how the Dogons and the Zulu have a cosmic type of creation history. Yeah, and I hope you know the dude Credo Mutwa. Credo Mutwa. I watched a lot of his interviews that he had speaking on that shit. So I was like, damn, these niggas they was already up to game. A lot of these civilizations wasn't just tribes. Like, a lot of these tribes wasn't tribes. They were civilizations is what I'm trying to say. Very powerful civilizations. Because if they wasn't powerful, niggas wouldn't be trying to come out the sky to contact niggas. I'm going to just say that. But the reptilians and the Greys and the insectoids and the Pleiadians, they took a liking into the Romans. Because the Greeks got their gods that come from the sky and shit, the Mount Olympus and shit like that. That's coming from these shape-shifting ass beings. The Greys can shape-shift. Niggas think the Greys can't shape-shift. They can. Reptilians, insectoids, and then, of course, the Pleiadians. But they call them tall white Nordics. They're not tall whites, bro. They're just, why they gotta call them, y'all just want to put white in there so bad. They're called Pleiadians, and they're not even human beings. They're androids. They're androids, like the androids off of Dragon Ball Z, Android 18 and 17. That's what a Pleiadian is. It's not a biological being. It's an android from a different star system coming to figure out how to help benefit these niggas. And this is the shit that got JFK smoked. Because like I said, JFK was the last real American president that actually cared about everybody. He didn't just care about white folks. He cared about white folks, black folks. And he was finna expose how the last president made a deal with these entities for certain technologies in exchange for babies, the people's energy. Because see, the ones that eat the babies would be your reptilians and your insectoids. Them the ones that eat human flesh and adrenochrome and all that shit. Your Pleiadians, they feed off the energy of you, your mental energy, your spiritual energy. That's why they got all this Wi-Fi and shit around us, taking your energy that you can't see with the naked eye. All your life force, you feel me? They feed off of that because they're biological beings, and that's how they charge up. The Greys, they don't really give a fuck about nothing else. They just want them white folks. The Greys want them white folks. And the reason why the Greys want them white folks so bad, because the Greys are those white folks from the future. They already exposed it to y'all, the P-52s and P-47s. That's them from the future, from merging themselves with technology too much to the point they can't eat and they can't reproduce. They can't eat shit and they can't reproduce. They're just literally mechanical machines, bro, and that's how they look. And they're trying to come back and try to figure out how to reverse engineer the the white folks' DNA so they can make themselves turn back to normal. They want to be back normal again. So I'm just breaking it down on who these different entities is and why they here. Because they not gonna mention the other extraterrestrials that's taking a liking into the Atlantean people, the Egyptian people, the black folks. He said, "What's your thoughts on Nambado?" I have no idea who that is. I have to look into him, bro. Some shit I just don't know right now because there's a lot of other shit that I'm trying to learn too as well. As far as when it comes to science and history. And it's a lot. It's a lot I'm still figuring. It's a lot I'm still finding out every day in history. And it's a lot I'm still finding out every day with science, especially with biology, bro. Because it's a lot of stuff they not telling us that we got to go read to look up. He said it's a Micronesian stone settlement. Oh, let me Google it real quick. Is this something like the Easter Island Stonehenge? Is it something like that? Let me see. Here we go, right here. Hold on, images. I ain't gonna lie, that shit look like a resort, my nigga. I'm looking at it right now. This shit, hold on. Yeah, here we go. Nigga, this shit like it used to be a resort at one point. On God, niggas used to come here to have a good time, chill. This shit, damn, what is that? That's not normal. That's not, I mean, I guess you could say that's natural, but like, look at that. I think this is what you're talking about. Yeah, that don't look normal. And then you got this shit right here too as well. It's a Micronesia. Why did they call it Micronesia? What the hell? Why they call it that? Anyways, I ain't never heard of this place, Micronesia, nigga. I'm fine. Hey, you finding me new places that I might once I get this passport, nigga. Shit, you got me. I might go here, nigga. That shit look nice, but this looks like this used to be yeah, it looked like it used to be a regular civilization here. But the way they got their walls built too, it looked like they had their walls built to like protect from like, storm surges and shit like that. Cause a lot of places that be, in water, they deal with a lot of storm surges when, waves and shit get to getting active. The Central Tomb, yeah, this place is kind of big. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hell yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they a lot of civilizations had, contact with beings though. He said Pacific Islanders have a good history, even Abos too. Yeah, a lot of people have good history, bro. A lot of us got good history because a lot of us was doing some very historical shit. So yeah, understand that with this ET shit, they're trying to paint a narrative right now. They're trying to paint a narrative. So that's why they hurry up and mention to you the tall white Nordics, the Greys, because they're going to try to make them seem like they're friendly. They're going to try to make them seem like they cool, and they're getting ready to introduce their creator, because they're like, it's called soft disclosure. So they're trying to do all this shit to desensitize you to it. So when these beings get introduced, you will accept it more. Niggas wouldn't freak out as much. And that's what they doing right now. And then, they gonna try to stage an invasion and shit like that to put niggas in fear, and then try to bring niggas under one world order, because niggas gotta be under one world. The new world order, everybody gotta be under one world by 2030. The AI world, which is what these beings have given the human. That's the deal that they made. It's like, if you let us have your babies, your people's organs, and abduct some of them, cuz every now and then when we feel like it, and you let us sit in the shadows, don't speak on us, don't talk about us, don't mention us, you'll give you this. It's called AI. That's like baby. That's like a toy for those beings. AI is like a toy for these extraterrestrials. They got some shit they got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit way more advanced than the AI that we got now. They got some shit 10 times more advanced than the AI we got now. So they, of course, they gave them some shit like, here, we'll know y'all play with that and figure it out on y'all own after a while. But now these niggas got mentioned because everybody waking up, calling out shit. And now they gonna introduce these, these beings know like shit, well, we gotta pop out now. These niggas fucked us over because they don't know how to control shit properly. So now we gotta step out and make ourselves look as appealing as possible to the people so they can accept us. And then we can continue to further this agenda of just wiping out the whole world, basically. Because now that everybody knows a reset has to happen. That's how they move. That's how these beings move. They feel like they got to reset shit because one, a lot of people is too corrupt and too tainted right now from all the shit that's been going on. And as well as like, now that we know what the fuck going on, these beings feel like they're going to have to do some shit. That's why a lot of these niggas is building bunkers now and they trying to hide underground because they know something is coming. But even they can't hide underground because there's been too many earthquakes lately. So good luck with that. But you know, they're trying to paint a narrative already with this alien shit. So be careful with that shit. That's why I had to break that shit down to you because, you know, in the rest of those Epstein files that they won't release, that's why they won't release it to you because the entire government is in on shit. You'll see shit in there where they have had meetings. They did rituals to, you know, summon these beings or, you know, bring forth these beings and communicate with them and make deals with them. The conversations they don't have with them, the pictures and videos they got of them in those files that they will not release. They can't. They want to, but they can't. They're not gonna release that shit. He said, what's your thoughts on the moon? I feel like the moon is a soul trap, bro. I feel like that's the reason women have menstrual cycles, and that's the reason why niggas keep getting pulled back here and their memory get wiped. Niggas get reincarnated through the moon, and the moon wipes their memory because our moon is in something called a tidal lock, which means the moon does not rotate. It does not rotate. So we will never see what the other side of the moon looks like. Every other moon in our solar system orbits. They all turn. They all turn. The ones on Saturn, the ones next to Jupiter, the ones, same other moon. Anyways, but yeah, all those moons, those motherfuckers rotate. Our moon is the only moon in the solar system that does not rotate, and we can never see what the other side looks like. So I feel like there's something, and they already spoke about this before, that they got bases on the moon. Niggas think they ain't went, like, people really think those folk, the astronauts ain't went to the moon. They really did go to the moon. They showed y'all that they went to the moon. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of shit. Now, the first moon landing may have been fake, but the second and the third and the fourth one after that, those were real expeditions that they went up there. Just like the recent one, the Artemis jump, they sent them on the other side of the moon. They had them go to the moon, swing around on the dark side that we never see, and then come back this way. You'd be surprised what the fuck they saw on the dark side of that moon, bro. So yeah, I feel like the moon, that's what my thoughts is on the moon. I feel like that motherfucker just a soul trap, bro. Because they have some type of facilities up there that do strange things. I even had an astral experience of being on the moon where they got these black ships. That's these triangular black, they call it the TR-3Bs. But these black ships made by Lockheed Martin, and you know, they leave from the moon, and every now and then they go back and forth from Area 51 to the moon, because Area 51, that's where a lot of that shit was made at. You feel me? That's where a lot of that technology was reverse engineered at, that UFO technology. Because UFO, not UFO, but the Area 51 is literally a U.S. Air Force base. If like you could just put the two and two together, Air Force, Area 51. Okay, so that means they working with a lot of aerial vehicles. They probably got their hands on the Roswell crash and then reverse engineered it in Area 51 because it's an Air Force base. So yeah, it just makes sense that, yeah, you know, these crafts are being made out of Area 51. They're not as advanced as these beings crafts that's on the earth with us, but they are making certain, it's like child's play to these beings, to these reptoids and all that shit, but they are making certain anti-gravity crafts where they can fly them and move, or in anti-gravity drones. These drones that niggas keep talking about, those are actual crafts that the government made that uses anti-gravity energy, even though I don't think gravity is a thing though. They're using magnetic energy to float around through the use of the electromagnetic field of the earth, just like how the birds maneuver. So, you know, they making these drones that's going around. They gonna, like I said, they gonna stage a bunch of shit. Do you think a strange deal was during the 1400s, during the medieval ages? Hell yes. Hell yes. Go look into the Knights of Templar. Hell yes. Definitely a strange deal was made. Definitely a strange deal was made with the Baphomet through the Knights of Templar, because the Knights of Templar created this god called the Baphomet and worshipped it. And the Baphomet was a representation of the Knights of Templar, Templar, the Templar Knights, Knights of Templar, whatever you want to call them, the Red Crusaders. Them niggas, they created the Baphomet and they worshipped it, and they worshipped it through orgies. Them niggas was in each other on some shit. And that was their way of giving energy to this god, which we still see in today's age. A lot of these rappers have to go through that first door of the Baphomet, which is they get in order for them to, and then they got to go through the other stages. Because, there was many deals made even before the 1400s. The Jews made a deal with Baal, the god who eats children. That's why to this very day, they steal babies. Because they made a deal with those gods. Even in the Bible, it says, I'm going to use religions to the religious motherfucker. Your God, Christianity, to the Christians out there, your God acknowledges that there are other gods out there. He says, for I am a jealous God, which is one of the 7 deadly sins, by the way. But he says, for I am a jealous God, and you only worship me, don't worship no other gods out there, or I'm going to kill you. Because you see what he was doing. You see how the God was moving in the Old Testament. That nigga was moving Baal. So, yeah, there are many gods out there that niggas don't make deals with, and some of these gods or ETs, really these alien extraterrestrial beings posing as if they're gods. Because of course, if you come across a nigga that's 20 times your intelligence, he has technology 20 times better than yours, and he can do and solve shit within seconds that would take you years to figure out. Of course, niggas gonna be like, damn, is that God? Is that God? No, he's just 10 times more intelligent than you. That's all it is. You can reach that same intelligence, but it would take years, though. It would take time to get to that kind of intelligence that some of these beings have. Because these beings have to work hard to get that intelligence. You still got to work hard. No matter where you go in the cosmos, you're going to always have to put in work, you feel me, to master a skill, to master a certain intelligence, a certain ability. You feel me? So, yeah, I feel like a lot of deals was made with a lot of different beings on this planet that don't bamboozle some niggas, and this is what they do now. We still see it to this very day with and then Moloch, the mouth of Moloch going into the belly of the beast. Mouth of Moloch is when you get this. This is the guy that lures you to these other guys like the Baphomet, Baal, Beelzebub, Azeroth. All these different Lucifer, Satan, all these different entities, malicious entities with great power, with great intelligence. Like Moloch is like he like the how human traffickers, they send out people to that people can for example, human traffickers would use women to go talk to other women because they know that women is going to be instantly comfortable. Like, okay, this is another woman, she probably ain't on shit, and it won't get snatched up. That's what they do with Moloch. Moloch appears as if like, oh yeah, I'm cool. Boom. Next thing you know, you chilling with Moloch. Now he don't got you snatched up and working with Baal, the Baphomet, you with Lucifer, nigga. You over there working with, you feel me? That's how Moloch works. So yeah, a lot of people done made some deals with beings they should never made deals with. Whereas if you go back and look at black people history and our ancient history, the only thing we made a deal with was the sun. The Egyptians worshiped the sun. Even the Egyptian gods, they always had what above their head? A red sun, the red giant. The oldest sons is red giants. That's when the sun has reached its elder phase, and that was a representation of wisdom for those gods of Egypt. That's why they always had that shit above their head. They had some type of sun above their head to represent that wisdom. So yeah, when you look at these niggas' history, they've been making deals with all kind of weird shit. Even when you go back to our history and more, you just see us, all we deal with is the sun, my nigga. Now, there is certain civilizations, I think like the Toltecs was like sacrificing their children or some shit like that, and the Mayans too. So like, I don't bangs with sacrificing our children for any means necessary. So, the Baal and, all these other guys was getting around. They were getting around, for real. Peace, Unc. I see you up in here, OG. Peace, OG Terrence. So yeah, Proto-Europeans or Yamanaya. I have no idea what a Proto-European is, but I just know a European, they come strictly from primates. All Europeans come strictly from primates. And then in a Yamanaya, I have to look at what that is. Let me see. Hold on, what else did you say? He said, thanks, bro, because when you do history, you see parts of Europe begin to rise to power and now plan on global domination. Yes. Yup. Because they made these deals. People are starting to catch on. They like, damn, if we were so powerful, how these motherfuckers managed to take off? They had help. These beings had help. We was the first ones to find them. The Moroccans was the ones to find the first European man, which was they were Neanderthals, bro. They were in Neanderthal form. And we started to work on these beings, basically genetically, we were able to genetically make them to what they are today. Niggas be like, oh, we taught them how to watch their yeah, we did that. You feel me? But after a while, when we left them alone. Like, okay, it's like no different than a black mother, black father with their child. Like, okay, we raised you up, you 18, you need to figure out what you're gonna do, because you need to hold your own weight. You need to learn how to hold your own weight at an early age, bro. So that way it helps you in the long run in older ages. So, that's how we did it. Like, okay, we got these niggas up, y'all on your own now. And then eventually these beings was like, they got these niggas to where we want them to be, because they couldn't. The reason why they were stuck in a Neanderthal state is because of the way they were genetically spliced by these beings. The reptilians, the insectoids, they had a hand in on that shit, along with the fallen angels. The fallen angels is our fallen brothers. But yeah, they were genetically creating them, and they fucked up, and they were stuck in a Neanderthal state, and they abandoned them. That's why we came and we found these niggas in the Caucasus Mountains, living inside the mountains in caves and shit. And we had to restore them niggas. And we restored them niggas, let them be, and then they came back. They said, oh, they got them to where we want them to be at. And now they learning about magic. Because the fallen angels, like they say, the watchers took the 200 watchers, the 200 fallen, they took a liking into the daughters of man, which was the females. And then they began to reproduce with these females with actual bodies. And these females gave birth to what we would call the Nephilim. And the Nephilim, they start off small as a regular sized child, but they begin to grow fast as fuck. Like by the age of 13, they already standing at 6 feet. And then by the age of 20, they already 8 feet, 9 feet tall. That was them working with these beings and creating these hybrid bloodlines. And these Nephilim still exist. But they exist through the 13 bloodlines. We call them the 13 bloodlines. And these are very gargantuan dark spirits, bro. And they reside in these people, aka these are the Magog and Gog that they talk about. That's them niggas. All these people that we're dealing with, that's for black people. Every other people around us is Gog and Magog, my nigga. And we got to get ready because some shit is about to hit the fan. And these people, like I said, you already see they getting back on that slavery shit. I just showed you at the beginning of this shit. Louisiana, if you homeless, they putting you in jail for 2 years of hard labor picking cotton, and other states are going to follow suit. They're going to be like, oh, shit, we should do that too. And niggas is getting more racist now. They just removed all the black Democrats out of Tennessee, and they doing it in more places, and they going to keep going with this shit. These niggas are the Gog and Magog. If you know about the story of Gog and Magog, it get nasty. They get nasty. These people, we don't know what kind of world we living in. He said, do you believe in Christianity from Gnostic from Judaism from Canaanites ideology, Canaanites ideology from Egyptian Kemet? Kemet from Mizraim. Do I believe in this Christian? I really don't believe in anything. I just know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I don't really believe in stuff. So it's either I know it or I don't. You feel me? It's either I know there's a God or I don't know there's a God. I'm not gonna believe, because a belief comes with some kind of doubt. Just like hope. I was like, don't hope for shit, have faith in shit. When you have faith for shit, you know something gonna fall through. When you hope for shit, there's a little bit of doubt, like, oh, I hope it happened. There's a little bit of doubt there. So I treat belief the same way. That's why a lot of people in society are falling short, because they have belief in shit instead of having faith in knowing shit. You feel me? So it's like, it's better to know that, like, Do I know that Christianity is from Gnosticism? Yes, it comes from ancient Gnosticism from the medieval times. That's why in the Christianity book, the Bible, they speak in the medieval tongue. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt give all praise to the Most High. That's medieval talk. That's from medieval times. That's when niggas was trying to discover the philosopher's stone and shit. The stone that could turn lead into gold. Alchemy. So Gnostic from Judaism. You know, Judaism, Christianity descends from Judaism because Christianity is a subgenre of Judaism. That's why the Jews look at Christians as inferior, and they look at the Christians as slaves. And they feel that in their religion, killing Christians is right for them. So like religion is all kind of fucked up. That's why I don't fuck with that shit. I don't be fucking with that shit right there. And then the Judaism from Canaanites. Yeah, we know the Canaanites was on some weird shit. Them was the niggas that was worshiping the golden calf and all that bullshit. And them the same niggas that was worshiping Baal, the Canaanites. They were sacrificing their child to be eaten by this god, which is what the Jews still do today. They still do that shit today. That's Canaanite behavior. And so the Canaanite ideology from Egypt to the Kemet, I gotta figure out what you trying to say there, because it's like you kind of like started messing up on your literature there. Kemet from myths around the Nile Valley. Kemet from myths? What? You gonna have to word that a little better for me. But the first top of your shit, I get that though. I know what you're talking about. So yeah, a lot of religion is fucked up. Even like Islam, you feel me? Don't even get me started on that, nigga. They will kill you about certain shit in Islam, bro. Go out there in the Islamic states in the eastern side of the world. Niggas in America trying to be Muslim, go do some of the shit you doing here over there in them Islamic states, nigga. They'll kill you about that shit. They'll kill you about that shit. I don't bangs with that. And you got the Libya slave trade with the Arabians enslaving the Libyans out there in Africa and then pushing the Islamic doctrine on them. I'm like, oh yeah, this is no different than the Christianity when they came to America and enslaved us and pushed the Christian. I'm like, nah, this fucked up. Fuck these religions, nigga. I know all these religions is on BS, but they take a lot of the ancient knowledge from us. All that, just like they tell you. When Jesus tell you to fast and do this and do that, that came from Jesus going to Egypt. A black man went to Egypt, got his ancient knowledge out of the great library of Alexandria at that university, being taught to become a master teacher, and then he came back to teach the people the different civilizations that was out here in the world. That's why the Romans, they had to get rid of that. They was like, no, we got to get rid of that fucking library because these niggas is going to end up more powerful than us, and they're going to take over. It was all about world takeover during that time, for them at least. But we wasn't worried about world takeover. We were just worried about establishing different civilizations across the world, so that way we can be gathering all these different resources. There's different, just like Africa, they got gold, all the different metals, gold, lithium, silver, diamonds. There's a lot of mineral gold especially, because that's used in a lot of technology. That's why Egypt was out there popping their shit. And then you had out here in Americas, we got a lot of food, the land of milk and honey. This is the land of milk and honey. We have the most fresh water here from all the way to Canada, all the way down to Mexico, and even Brazil. You got all that fresh water, all the crops being grown here, fruits, vegetables. What else am I about to say? The shit, rice. We got all this different food. We got all this different, sources of fresh drinking water out here. It's a lot of wildlife out here too that niggas could, I guess, feed off of if they choose to do that. But we had civilizations out here for that purposes, gathering all that food and shit. And niggas over there in the Asia side. You feel me? Oh, that was my speaker. So we was going everywhere with this shit and trying to establish shit, and we wasn't bothering nobody. We was just minding our business. But these niggas can't mind their business, and they got jealous of what we had going on. It's always been like that. And they was wondering, like, damn, these niggas getting contact and shit. He said, what's your thoughts on native history, Inca and Aztec and Mayans? That's your modern day Brazilians, your modern day Mexicans, even the Caucasoid ones, because those are they were bleached out through the Spaniards. Because I was just talking to a female, a coworker at work. Because I was like, bro, I thought you was Russian. I didn't know you was Mexican. And you know, she was just telling me about the history of the Spaniards. You know how they was coming in and colonizing shit and basically, you know, bleach niggas out. So you know, the modern day Brazilians, Mexicans in Mexico, modern day Americans and Canadians. That's us, bro. That's the Mayans, that's the Aztecs, that's the Incas, the native, you know, the natives, the Choctaw, the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, the Ojibwe, the Potawatomi, the Washita. All that was different civilizations of us, and we was just chilling. And niggas pulled up after they colonized the eastern side of the world. They pulled up. They said, we need the western side too. It's too many niggas over there. It's too many niggas over there. We need to get them niggas. So boom, they pulled up and got on bullshit. They tried to bleach a lot of us out, but they couldn't, because you still got Mexicans right now in Mexico that look just like me, but they speak full-on Spanish. You got Dominicans. You got the don't get me started on the Jamaicans, the Haitians, and then what was I thinking of? Down there in Brazil, you know, down there in Brazilian, a lot of Brazilian, they live on the equator, so they gotta have this. Them Brazilians live on, it get hot as shit down there. They gotta have this. That's natural too. Like, that's how it works. The closer you are to the equator, the darker the people become, because you need to have this in order to live on this planet. If you don't, you'll die. That's why white people be dying the way they be dying, because they don't have this. They're not genetically compatible with the planet anymore. Notice I say anymore. These people did used to be genetically compatible with the planet, but a lot of your white people are like albino Dravidians. They're like a subspecies of the Dravidians, which was dark-skinned motherfuckers with straight hair. They didn't have nappy hair, so they wasn't really they wasn't Negroid. They was like partially Negroid. But yeah, most of your white folks, they descend from that. And they used to have melanin at some point, but now they don't got it because of over time throughout the years, they slowly turned into what they are now. So now they can't take the sun and shit, and it's affecting them. And then, like I said, you still got people, hold on. Yeah, but you still got people, that's in the, you know, our people, we able to still take the sun. That's what I was trying to get out, my bad. But yeah, we got our people that's still able to take the sun. So, you know, that's why when you get closer to the equator, the darker the people become, because you gotta have that, or else you would die. Because a lot of that radiation comes in at the equator. You got the South Atlantic anomaly, which is a big ass hole in the ozone layer where all that radiation come in there, and it come in those areas where Brazil, Africa, you know, out there in India and shit like that. Most of that equator is right up in there. Oh, I'm trying to see what the fuck. Okay, there we go. I don't know if I hit your message. Oops. There you go. He said they literally have similar noses and faces like certain West and Central Africans. Yep. So yeah, I just wanted to break all this down to y'all today. You feel me? A lot has been going on, bro. From the data centers to the hantavirus, because they trying to spark that. They trying to put in a new virus. Bro, fuck that. Whatever virus they come out with, just say fuck it. We just gonna ignore it, because we're not taking this. We're not taking these again. We seen what that did to the people, and they came out and said that COVID was made in the lab. And they came out, they're not talking about it now that COVID was staged. They're talking about this in actual government hearings, house hearings, where niggas is like they staged shit, and whatever was in those shots, it was something else, and it was killing people. And we was trying to warn niggas for that back in 2022. And we was trying to warn niggas, was getting their YouTube pages and Instagram pages clipped, trying to warn niggas about them vaccine shots. Now look, oh, it was made in the lab. Nigga, now you got now the people who got that shit in them boosters that's still alive, they're like, damn, now what the fuck I got in me? Now they questioning, like, what the fuck I got in me now? You see what I'm saying? So, you know, look my shit reconnected. It's time to get off of here. It's time to get off of here. My shit just buffered and did some weird shit. I'm talking too much. All is, we're getting closer to 2030. Get ready, y'all. The FEMA camps is coming because they need black women's genetics. You have something called totipotent stem cells. These stem cells allow them to live longer. That's why we age so slow, because we have these y'all have these totipotent stem cells, and y'all give birth to us, and we carry small traces of those stem cells in our blood, but mainly like in our wisdom teeth, because we have stem cells in our wisdom teeth that can literally regrow organs. You can use those cells to regrow organs. Now we question them, what the fuck? Do we really need to be getting our wisdom teeth pulled? And if we get them pulled, should we keep them bitches now? Because now they taking them bitches and finding stem cells in them hoes? What? They finding a lot of shit. So they gonna be rolling out a lot of shit to further get people in these camps and extract organs and all that, pineal glands and all that, because their food source is running low. Shit, and people are waking up. Niggas is finna start fighting back. The civil unrest is gonna keep growing and growing and growing. And niggas talking about a civil war between blacks and whites. No, it's not. This shit finna backfire so hard on them. This finna be a civil war. It don't matter what color you is. It's finna be us against the government. And we need to be ready for that. Because they already have something called NSPM-07, which is a law that they put in place where when I speak about certain shit like this, or other people hop on the internet and start speaking certain shit like this, they put us on the watch list, because they're watching everything on the internet now and what people is talking about to try to stop the next Messiah, to try to stop the next mass revolution, where it's us against them, and they don't want that. Watch, they're gonna pass a law where if you speak on shit like this, they're gonna take you to jail now. Get ready. They already took the little girl to jail that was on the internet talking about Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. She was just making jokes on Discord. Or no, she was making jokes on a Telegram chat, which is supposed to be encrypted, by the way, which means nobody can read those chats, not even the government, but they was able to see that shit. And then she went to jail for making jokes about Benjamin Netanyahu. Hey, other than that, just get ready, y'all, and be prepared. One love, make universal love, y'all. I'm out this thing. I'll be back with another one. Give me about that bed.